Hello again friends, please enjoy this short story. Title: My wife hasn't worn her wedding ring for several days in a row. I'm a 33-year-old man married to my wonderful 32-year-old wife for just shy of a year, though we've shared a loving, exclusive partnership for the past 10 years and have lived together for 8 of those years. She's absolutely the love of my life. She was the one who proposed to me 6 years ago. Due to various commitments like school schedules and repeated issues with our venue, our wedding was postponed multiple times. However, we've been committed to each other as symbolized by our wedding bands, which we've worn since the day we got engaged. A couple of days ago, after returning from a shopping trip, my wife mentioned that a cashier had been quite forward with her, even going as far as to ask her out. This seemed to have happened, she thought, because she had accidentally left the house without her wedding ring that day. In our strong, secure relationship, instances where others show interest in one of us usually become a source of amusement. Therefore, I wasn't bothered by the incident itself. However, the next day brought the issue into sharper focus. We were just about to leave for a movie when I noticed she wasn't wearing her ring once again. In a moment of irritation, I asked her somewhat sharply, "So, are we not wearing our wedding rings in public anymore?" She seemed taken aback by my tone but quickly reassured me that she had simply forgotten, and she went to put it on before we left. Though we managed to enjoy the movie, the mood had subtly shifted. There was an underlying tension that hadn't been there before. It all came to a head once we returned to the car. She confessed that my earlier comment had caused her to feel pressured and stressed, leading to a headache. She pointed out that forgetting her ring was a mere oversight and not something she did intentionally. Furthermore, she explained that her attractiveness might still invite unwanted attention, regardless of whether she wore her ring, emphasizing that her identity and self-worth were not defined by it. The ride home was mostly silent, punctuated only by her apology for how sharply she had reacted earlier, which I accepted. This incident was particularly unsettling because it was the first time I had noticed her without her ring. It probably wouldn't have stood out to me if she hadn't mentioned her interaction with the cashier the day before. I am left a bit perplexed and concerned about the defensive nature of our exchange and am trying to understand the implications of what happened. I would genuinely appreciate any insights or shared experiences regarding partners not wearing their wedding rings in public. What does it signify, and how do couples typically navigate these moments? Update. After sifting through the feedback, I dismissed the extreme views, those labeling me as overly controlling or suspecting infidelity on my wife's part. The more balanced responses helped me realize a few key things. Firstly, my passive-aggressive comment early in the day was unnecessary and set a negative tone for our outing. This likely led to the tense and defensive conversation we had later on. Another surprising insight was learning that many married couples don't regularly wear their wedding rings, or not at all. Having grown up with parents who never removed their rings, I had assumed that was the standard for everyone. Clearly, practices vary widely between couples and even between individuals within the same relationship. Additionally, I've come to understand that a wedding ring isn't always a deterrent to others' advances. Despite my own past behavior of checking for a ring before approaching someone, not everyone shares this respect for marital boundaries. Now for the update. When my wife returned from work, we had a conversation over dinner. I apologized for my remark the previous day, which she graciously accepted. We also discussed the incident with the cashier, and she questioned whether I wanted to know about such encounters in the future. I told her it was her choice, acknowledging her attractiveness probably made these situations more frequent. After reconciling with a hug, I expressed curiosity about her defensive reaction post-movie. She explained that she was already not feeling well and disliked my insinuation that being hit on was her fault due to not wearing her ring. I apologized again and we realized we had never really discussed what our rings symbolized for us. I offered to wear mine less if it made her more comfortable, but she preferred we both continue wearing them in public, reminding me that it's normal to forget things occasionally. In conclusion, we're back on good terms, and she appreciated revisiting the conversation to resolve our misunderstanding together. I want to thank everyone in this thread for sharing their diverse views.